off my first guest on the programme. Absolutely delighted to be joined by Tim Vine. Tim, how are you today, okay?
Very well, how are you?
All right, absolutely brilliant, yeah. So the next Friday, the 26th of February at the Grand Theatre in Swansea, there's a show with the Plastic Elvis, and the star of the show, Tim Vine, dare I say. What do the audience see on that day, Tim?
What are they going to see?
Yeah.
Well, it's my Elvis tribute act, so I'm going to come out dressed as Elvis. And I wear a black plastic suit, and I have an implausible wig. I have my own sideburns that I've grown specially for the event. And I come out and I have a five-piece band, the High Noon Band, as they're called, and I sing my favourite Elvis songs. And in between, I speak as Elvis. So it's a sort of fully immersive Elvis experience, but it's done by me. So it's not a stand-up show as such. It's not really a comedy show, although it is, as I say to people, it is laughable. But maybe for not the reasons of one-liners, you know.
So you're going to be doing the Elvis accent as well, are you? The talking accent?
I'm going to be doing some of the Elvis moves, yeah. There's certain things I can't do. I've noticed that he does a thing where he sort of drops down from a standing position into a sort of almost like squatting with one leg out, and then he comes back up again into a standing position. If I did that, I'd pop both my knees. So that one's out. He was in his 30s when he did that, you know.
This show was a total seller at the Edinburgh Festival, wasn't it? So it was a bit of a return to the festival for you.
Well, yeah. We've been doing it for the. We did some in the autumn last year. It was originally a tour that was going to take place in 2020, and obviously everything changed, and then it sort of got spread out. So we started again, and we've done about 15 of them all around the country. It's been great fun, and we also have. John Archer's in it as well, and he's normally in his normal life he's a comedy magician, but for this he does his Buddy Holly tribute act, and he comes on as Big Buddy Holly because he's a little bit bigger than Buddy Holly actually was, and he does his Buddy Holly songs, and then we also have David Martin, who's a real-life legendary singer-songwriter, and he wrote Can't Smile Without You and various songs for Dusty Springfield, etc. But he also, excitingly, genuinely wrote 4 songs for the real Elvis. So he comes on, and I bring him on in the second half, and we sing a duet together, me as Elvis, and we sing one of the songs that he wrote for Elvis. So it's there's lots in it. And if you like Elvis, I think it'll be up your street. Let's put it that way.
And David Martin's going to be in Swansea, is he? Because he's not in every show, is he?
Yeah, Dave Martin, he's in every show, yeah.
Oh, right, I thought he was only doing certain shows, right, okay.
Well, originally he was only going to do certain shows in 2020, but so much time has elapsed that the dates have got more spread out, and it's become possible for him to do all of them, yeah.
Okay, so in 2010 you won the Best Joke Award at the Edinburgh Festival. Can you remember what it was?
Yes, I think I can, yeah. I've just been on a once-in-a-lifetime holiday. I tell you what, never again. And then I won it again in 2014 with I decided to sell my Hoover while I was just collecting dust.
That's the one.
Yeah. If you're going to test me on that one as well.
And the High Noon Band, I love the title of that. A bit like...
my favourite Western, actually.
Gary Cooper, yes.
Yeah, brilliant, yeah. And but it's really named after Graham Noon, who is a very good friend of mine who sort of got the band together. So it's kind of using his name, really. But yes, I've always loved the... there's so much of that film is brilliant, isn't it? I like the bit where I think it's the judge is leaving, and he says, "Why must you be so stupid, Will? Have you forgotten what he is? Have you forgotten what he's done to people? Have you forgotten that he's crazy? Don't you remember when he sat in that chair and said, 'You'll never hang me'?" Not that I'm obsessed by the film or anything.
It's a pity it's in black and white, isn't it?
Yeah, it is in black and white, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a pity it is in black and white.
It is in black and white, though. It is in black and white. That's what you said. So I'll just repeat what you said to you. There's a terrible echo on this line. But, yes, well, you say that, but you don't like films in black and white?
Well, I don't know. I'm a bit old-fashioned. Well, not old-fashioned, perhaps. That's the reason. I don't know.
Hold on a minute. I'm trying to work out how old you are, because that sounds like the view of someone who would be very young. Can I ask you how old you are?
50 plus.
No, well, there we are. See, I'm 50 plus. I'm 54.
Yeah.
And I sort of, because I think some people, like my niece and and nephew, they would say, if they see something that's black and white, they immediately go, oh, it's old-fashioned. They just immediately write it off,
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's a shame, really.
So, a big Elvis fan. How far back can you go with Elvis?
Well, I can go back. What do you mean in terms of, you want to ask me a question about him?
No, what's your favourite Elvis track then? Put it that way.
Well, so many. But I mean, in terms of if you mean how far back do we go in the show? I mean, use "Baby Let's Play House," which is a song from I think 1955, maybe even, and one of the Sun songs.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. You may go to college, you may go to school, you may drive a pink Cadillac, but don't you be nobody's fool. Oh, baby, come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, I want to play house with you. Yeah.
I get a joke on a song. Wonderful stuff, yeah.
Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. It's such a great pleasure to be here in Swansea, I tell you.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful, yeah. So your brother Jeremy became a journalist and you became a comedian. What happened there?
Well, I think there was a mix-up in the papers because clearly I should have been the serious one. But well, although Jeremy sort of, I sometimes think we could, people say, do you think you could swap jobs with Jeremy? And I said, absolutely not, because whenever Jeremy does one of those kind of high-powered interviews with a politician, there's always a moment, sort of 30 seconds in, where I think I no longer know what they're talking about. So I couldn't do that sort of interview,
Okay, so when you were young then, were you always telling jokes? Were you that sort of person when you were younger?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, I had one of those Piccolo book of jokes, and I think it was one called the Armada book of jokes. But those little joke books where, great, I still remember some of the jokes now from this great joke where the bloke goes home and he said, there's a terrible smell in the house, and he says to his mum, he says, what's that smell? She said, I've just made the chicken soup. I said, thank goodness for that, I thought it was for us. And I love jokes like that, And my dad told me a joke which he only had about 3 jokes, but he used to tell them to us over and over again, which is the one at the boating lake where the bloke says, come in number 19, your time is up. No, come in number 61, your time is up. Sorry, I've ruined the joke now. Come in number 61, your time is up. And the bloke goes, we haven't got a 61. And he goes, number 19, are you in trouble?
Very good indeed.
Yeah, and stuff like the train announcement. The train arriving at platforms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is coming in sideways.
Very good. Okay.
But that's for another day. The stand-up thing. The Elvis tribute show, I have to confess, is not full of jokes. It's definitely a fun night of rock and roll, and I am sort of humorous between songs, but it's not. It's nothing like my stand-up shows, which are an absolute barrage of jokes. From the second I walk on to when I walk off. It's not quite like that. So I'm coming back. I'm going to do some more of that in the future, but just not for this one. So
Tommy Cooper was one of your favourite comedians, yeah?
Who was?
Tommy Cooper.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Fantastic.
And I read somewhere that they're now including your jokes in the Tommy Cooper Show. Is that right?
Well, yeah. Well, that was a while ago. I'm not sure the Tommy Cooper Show is even happening anymore, is it? There was a little bit of... there was I think someone had recorded part of my acts and had put this email out saying, here are some Tommy Cooperisms. And this email became really popular because everyone shared it because of course everyone loves Tommy Cooper, and they thought, oh, here's some Tommy Cooper jokes we haven't heard. So they were lapped up, and I found I'd get to this point in my acts. I mean, we're talking about in the mid-90s, that was a while ago, and I'd get to the point in the acts, and I'd hear occasionally someone would murmur under their breath when I was a Tommy Cooper joke, and I'd sort of think, no, it's not. So, but I mean, thankfully, if you keep writing, it's that's the main thing. Keep writing stuff and get it out there.
So there we are then. It's absolutely brilliant to be with me this afternoon. Thanks so much for sparing me the time.
Absolute pleasure.
So next Friday on the 26th of February, the Grand Theatre in Swansea, Plastic Elvis will be on stage.
Indeed.
Tim, thanks so much for being with me this afternoon.
Absolute pleasure. Take care of yourself. Bye.
Bye now. Bye.